Welcome to GGrated. I do not know what episode this is, but thank y'all for stopping in. I have my buddy Gray in. I've been gone a couple weeks. He has covered the spots pretty well in reference to this episode. If you are first stopping in, I do have to say we are the ones that go over the game, the tech, the movies, the deals, everything you can think of. We got you covered. Nice to see you again, Josh. It's been a while.
Nice to see you again, too, man. And as you were talking, I looked up which episode this was. This is episode 44 of the GGrated podcast. Let's get 40.
Let's get it.
Hello, welcome to GGrated. We hope you enjoy the show. Now here are the hosts.
All right, guys. All right. We are back. Gray, I got to say, I listened to both episodes. Let me just start off by saying I listened to the last couple episodes. If everybody has already known, because of Josh, I've been in Alaska the past couple weeks. Josh and Matthew filled in, and they did an awesome job. I learned a lot of new things about Matthew as well. They did some gameplay. Awesome job. If you have not checked out those videos, make sure you click on those. Make sure you check them out and leave a comment down below because they got some pretty cool stuff that they went over.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Matt did a really good job, man. And he's actually been, so if you can join his Discord about his game, Echoes of Izmia, and he's been doing a lot of updates on there, building up a good environment for the community to come and help develop this game with him and his team. So, yeah, if you want any more information about that, just let us know. But I did link his GitHub in the description on those episodes. So check it out.
Well, I will say first thing, thank you, Matt. I really appreciate you stepping in, man, while I was gone. Guys, if you're here for this episode, we got a banger for you as always. We're going to talk about me and Josh somehow ended up seeing the Deadpool Wolverine movie that just came out.
Yeah, dude.
Spoilers do lie ahead. I will tell you all that because we were talking about this tonight.
This is spoiler heavy.
And they got a new Halo game on the Game Boy Advance. We will talk about that as well. Talk about some gaming moments and maybe get some deals that Josh can lead you to that can help you out, help your budget out this week. So you want to jump into the gaming moment of the week?
Yeah, let's do it. Gaming moment of the week. Who's going first? You or me?
You go, buddy. You go.
I'm going to go ahead. So, the other day I was looking for a game. I've been playing all my usuals. Wasn't quite hitting the spot. I needed something different. So, I was looking for a cheap game that was on sale. You know, a game that would scratch a particular itch that I was having that I didn't even know I had. If that makes any sense. The game is called Blue Steel. I'll just go ahead and say it. The game is called, no, sorry, it's not Blue Steel. It's Bleeding Steel is the name of the game. Blue Steel.
You was close. No. You was close, bro. You was close.
Yeah. Bleeding Steel. So I was playing this game. Oh my gosh, it's not even Bleeding Steel. Hold on. Hold
on.
Wait,
did you even play this game? Apart. I just need to know. Did you play this game?
Yes. For some reason, I looked up Blue Steel on YouTube because I thought that.
Get the wife to bring you coffee right now. Right now.
The name of the game is called Severed Steel. Severed Steel.
Nice.
Plays perfect on the Steam Deck. There's destructible environments. There's slow motion. There's running on walls. There's sliding on the ground. So it's like a mixture of Mirror's Edge and Call of Duty and what's some other games? Oh my gosh, dude. It's a really fun game. It wasn't like a really long game. It's basically you go through these different levels. You either have to destroy all the enemies in each level, you have to go get items, but the way you traverse the environment and the way the mechanics work for the gun and the slow motion, and you can also use your leg to kick off of things, and you can go upside down and shoot. I mean, like, there's so much freedom of movement in this game. It's really, really fun.
Dude,
So if you could
and
bring up
what
a little
system
bit of
is it
video
on?
on it. So I downloaded it on Steam, so I was playing it on the Steam Deck. But it's on
Okay.
Steam. It might still be on sale right now.
I was not prepared for
But,
this, man. I prepared everything else. You didn't tell me you wanted it brung up. I did not know.
Severed Steel. Bring up Severed Steel. Right now it's still on sale for $4.99. It's 80% off. It's usually $25 game. And dude, it's freaking sweet. Slow-mo, bullet time, sliding mechanics. I gotta say that I just found myself kind of zoning out into the action of this game. And there were some particular moments where I would like run in a room. I would run on the wall, do like a flip to spin, shoot, and then blow a hole in the wall and see dudes flying everywhere. Yeah, so that was my game moment of the week. There's a bunch of moments like that in this game, but was a sweet game to find for only $5. Plays perfect on Steam Deck. Check it out
is
today.
right here.
It's called Severed Steel, baby.
I got it playing right now.
Play that thing.
Is this
So
it?
this is probably
it is like a Mirror's Edge a little bit.
This is from the beginning though, so you want to go ahead and get through it. Maybe show some levels where there's some slow motion and destructible environments and stuff. She hasn't got her arm cannon yet, so just go on through a little bit later on.
Oh, got a little gun too.
Yeah.
Hey, guns in.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh, like a little slow motion. Dude, it's like Mirror's Edge with a gun though, for real. That is your kind of cookie. You love those games.
Dude, it's great. You can blow holes in walls and stuff too. She has a cannon on her arm that you can use also. She's not really doing it in this gameplay trailer. But, dude, it's a really fun game. Really enjoyed it. I already beat the story mode, but there's a lot of other game content after that. So, yeah, that's my game moment. It's called Severed Steel. It's only $5 right now. Worth the buy. Go get it.
Nice. We went to like a little boys trip, just to let everybody know. And on the way back, was it like a couple years ago now? But anyways, we had Clayville, one of our buddies, Chris Clayville. We had Blaze. It was us, and we was driving back, and they had the Steam Decks, and they was playing Mirror's Edge almost the whole way and stuff. So they absolutely loved it. They was killing it and stuff. And that's when I learned that Josh was like a huge Mirror's Edge fan. So any kind of game that's kind of like that, but he's kind of got me into it a little bit. Like I played it a little bit, and you kind of told me like, hey, you have to do this and do this. And it's actually, if y'all haven't played Mirror's Edge, that's a great game to start with, and then maybe try this Severed Steel, because I'm definitely going to check it out now. I wouldn't have before, but after he showed me how Mirror's Edge works, like it have to be a game I have to check out. So especially on the Steam Deck. But
a good way of explaining it in the reviews here is it's kind of a mixture of Super Hot, if you've ever played that, along with Mirror's Edge and Quake, like all kind of mixed into one game. So that's kind of a good way of explaining it.
Well, thanks, Josh, for letting everybody know that. I kind of go over my gaming moment of the week, and of course, you can probably guess it, but it's going to be NCAA Football 2025. That game's released. I've been waiting 10 years for this game to finally be able to play it, and I was in Alaska whenever the game got released. So I wasn't able to play it when everybody started, but when I got home, I immediately started playing it. Can't get enough of it. Playing on PlayStation 5. Couple of gripes that I have with it, just do a little thing, is there's no crossplay when it comes to the online Dynasty. Now, I have a lot of Xbox buddies as well that we're kind of waiting so we can have that crossplay. But as far as the game wise, I was playing a guy. It's on the the road to the college football playoff mode that they have on that game. And you have to win like so many games, and you go to the playoffs, and then you play for the championship, like the normal stuff. While I'm sitting here, everybody's asleep at this point. And this guy gets on the phone on the PlayStation 5. You have a microphone on the PlayStation 5 controller, and you have a speaker. So you don't have to have your headsets in, but you can hear stuff. And I didn't realize that. So all of a sudden, this guy comes over there. He's like, "You ready to get your..." And he was saying bad words like crazy. I won't go into it, but he was like, "You son of a, you ready, you little pea? You ready?" And I'm like,
"You little pea?"
Like, yeah. I'm like, "Okay, man, let's get it. Let's go." It brought back memories of like the old Call of Duty chat room days. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, I scored twice in the first quarter, and then he quits the game. So I was like, I got the last. So it was super fun. I ended up playing till like 2 a.m. on this. I can't get enough of this game.
Nice.
I'm a huge sports game guy. If everybody does not know that, I'm not much of a man.
Is this game out on PlayStation and on Xbox?
Yes.
So I thought it was only on PlayStation because you bought one to play this game. I thought
I did, but instead of getting an Xbox, right?
Oh, that's right. I forgot you didn't have an Xbox anymore. That's right.
Nope.
Okay.
Because I got the PC. I got the Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can play all the Xbox games online. So why get an Xbox when I can play all those games on the computer? But now I have a PlayStation. I can play all these other games that don't get released, like the Spider-Mans and the Ghost of Tsushima. I don't have to wait a year or two to play those games. I can play them on PlayStation ahead of time.
Right.
Right. And Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to be on PC either. It's going to be on a console. Just giving you a heads up. Giving you a heads up.
Gotcha.
But that was my gaming moment of the week. It was pretty fun. It was I played it like crazy. And guys, if you want to play, I'm GGrated on PlayStation. So make sure you send me an invite, and I will throw that smoke your way as well. Just throwing that out there.
You don't want this smoke.
You don't want this smoke. You don't want it. But man, look, can I just say this? Because I kind of went through kind of quick, Josh, before we go into the gaming deals in the news, is I wanted to show you like a little video. And this is just one of like 1,000 videos I got from Alaska. And it shows like the view and everything else. I wanted to kind of throw it up there to you to see what you thought about it, and show all the viewers that's on YouTube to see what I was actually doing while I was in Alaska.
Do it.
So let me go to the video.
We're going to bring up some video from Gino's Alaska trip here. And check this out.
Let me find the video real quick. Oh. Here it is right here.
Oh,
think
wow.
about that.
That looks like it doesn't even
That was
look
on the
like
top
real,
of the boat,
man.
dude. This is just
That's crazy.
a little bit.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's nonstop all the way around the boat, too. This is just one side, but it's all the way around the boat.
Whoa, dude. That's crazy. So right now, for audio-only listeners, he's on top of his cruise ship, looking at the views, and there's just mountains and water, and it's majestic.
So I wanted to show you this as well. Yeah, so as you can see on the left, I just showed everybody the views on top of we went to the Royal Caribbean we went to Seattle 3 days, and then we went to Royal Caribbean Alaskan cruise for 7 days. We visited Sitka, Skagway, Alaska, Juneau, Alaska, and then Victoria, Canada. And I collected patches on there because I like anywhere I go that I visit, that I touch down, my feet touch down on, I want to be able to get some patches to say, hey, I've been there, maybe put it in my Jeep and stuff. And I ended up getting a patch in every port, dude. So you got the Seattle, Washington patch. I visited the Space Needle right above it. And then that's the public market patch. It shows like a little Sasquatch.
That's good.
Sitka, Alaska. Skagway is where we did the train ride. Juneau. And we went to the Mendenhall Glacier and Juno, and then I took Brandy and Blaze actually took a Polaroid picture of me up above with snow crab legs,
That's
and
cool.
it's the same snow crab legs that you eat for the deadliest catch, like that they catch for the deadliest catch on the show.
Oh.
So
Is it like Dungy crab, I think?
it's like
Dungy snow crab
the
or
red
something like
crab,
that.
yeah, like king snow crab leg red. I
Oh,
think it
yeah.
was. But anyway, and then we
Mhm.
went to Victoria Canyon, which was super beautiful, man. It was great. And this is the hat I ended up getting in Skagway. So I just wanted to show you, man, just a little bit, show you the view, show the viewers what I was doing. Had an amazing time with the family, bucket list trip. I did miss it. I was able to get some internet every once in a while. So I was watching the GG Rated podcast on the balcony of the ship and watching
That's
y'all
cool.
do the podcast for a little bit. So
That's cool.
I did not know he was in a band, by the way. Just want to throw that out
Oh,
there.
dude, he's been in multiple ones, I think, but there's one in particular that they got like music videos and all kind of stuff
Yeah,
out.
that's
It's
crazy.
really
I didn't
neat.
know that. Like he actually was
Yeah, it
like a
looks like a
fill-in
rock band.
for tour and all that. I was like, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Did not know that. But
Yeah, he's a very talented fellow.
so at the very after we get done with the gaming deals, we'll go ahead and throw that into there in case anybody's waiting. While we was on this trip, my brother-in-law Blaze, I know he mentioned it to you when we was in Huntsville. Well, he's got this game called Point 14, this board game that they are actually publishing and they're developing right now that they're going to throw out there to everybody. So I'm going to kind of give them a little plug, I guess, and we got to play it a couple times. So I'm going to kind of show everybody this game, and y'all need to keep your eye out for it and show a little bit later in the show. But that's enough of me talking. Do you want to go into the gaming news and deals?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it, dude. All right, you know the drill. This is GG.deals. I go to the website, GG.deals, and look at your Steam deals. We could go over consoles and stuff, but for right now, we're just going to stick with Steam deals. Okay. So these are games that are a high percentage off of their normal price. And I already said one of them. It's called Severed Steel. For some reason, it isn't on here, but it's like 80% off. So pick that one up for sure. I've already talked a little bit about it, so you know what that is. I'm just going down the list of some of my top picks that I would look into. Right now, you got Red Dead Redemption 2 is 67% off. It is only $19.79. I'm going to pick that up one day. You also have, so for any of those anime fans out there, you have Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. It's only $3.99. It's got really good reviews. It's more of a JRPG, I guess. Isn't that what it is? It's like like
So
you're
what's
trying to
that
build
game
a
kind of like,
character.
Josh? I mean, what is that game like?
So basically, it's like the anime Sword Art Online. It's you're gonna spawn into this world. You're basically playing inside of a video game, like you're in a video game.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of what the anime is based off of. They can go into these different worlds inside of this thing called I think it's called a nerve gear, where it actually puts your mind inside of a game. So you get to make a character, and you get to interact with some of the main characters from the anime. And there's like a whole storyline and stuff. You can build up your guns and your character. I bought it and I only played a little bit of it, and I actually returned it because it's not my style of game. It's probably a lot of grinding and stuff.
Okay.
But I think for those that are into that style of game, you would really like it. So definitely check this one out. It's only $3.99. It's historic low, 90% off. But there's some others that are on my picks of games you should get. Right now, you have Insurgency Sandstorm is only $9.89. That's a smoking deal. It's actually a really good game. This is a hardcore shooter. You're going to be fighting hordes of insurgents, and you get to choose your loadout, your equipment, jump in these different maps. There's also a PvP and a PvE. It's a hardcore shooter, guys,
So
and it's great.
PC is $9.89. On Xbox is showing $19.11, and on PS4 and PS5 you can get it for the $25. So definitely go with the PC version right now.
Yep, Steam version is where it's at. Some other top picks. Let's see. No Man's Sky is 60% off. There was just a really big update on No Man's Sky, and I've heard from a buddy of mine that it's really, really good. No Man's Sky just keeps getting better and better, and you can have it now on Steam for $23.99.
So the PC will be $18.19. The PlayStation is $23 and $22 for the Xbox. That is a deal because they just keep coming out with stuff. So you hit that on the nail on that one, and it's making me want to buy No Man's Sky very badly. So I've been. Have you
I actually
seen all
own
the
it on
news with
Xbox. Yeah. There's been a lot of news. Supposedly there was a big update to like the fauna and the animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I even saw some people streaming it, and yeah, it looks really good. I might jump in there one day and check it out.
Game Pass. It's on Game Pass. You see the Game Pass symbol? So
there's actually a VR
that
mode too with this game. I believe I've tried it in VR before. Yeah, there's a VR mode. So yeah, definitely a cool game. Especially if you want to get it on PC, you can try that VR mode if you have an Oculus or whatever.
That'd be cool.
The Surge is only $1.94. I've talked about this game plenty of times. It goes on sale a lot. It's like a Dead Souls game where you get to try over and over, and if you die, you lose your stuff. You want to go back and get it. You're slowly building up your guy, upgrading weapons and your exosuit and stuff. The Surge, it's really cool. Check it out. It's $1.94. I own it.
$1.94.
Yep. $1.94.
Hey, if you want it on Xbox, it's $2.99. $2.99 on Xbox. PlayStation, it's $11.99. So Xbox or PC, snatch it up, man. I mean, I think Josh has talked a lot about this, enough about this that
I've talked a lot about it. And here's another game that I was wanting to try that I haven't tried yet. It's called LA Noire. It's on page 2. It's only $6 right now. I've heard it's a great game. It's a detective game set back in the day. Supposedly you can like see when people are lying because the like animations on their face and stuff. It brought some sort of like new tech to gaming that was supposedly a big deal back when it came out. I haven't played it, so I can't tell you if it's good or not, but it's one that I'm interested in, so I wanted to mention it. And there's more on here that I could go through, but I think that's enough for now. One more
bonus.
Okay,
Give us a bonus.
I'm going one more bonus. Let me scroll real quick.
I was looking
for a
loop, guys. I'm keeping him on his toes.
For a loop.
I'm keeping him on his
toes. Let's look. Oh my gosh.
What do you recommend?
Dude, I don't know. I'm looking here and there's not much more I'm interested in except for honestly. Okay, so I have this disc that goes for my Nintendo DS, not a disc, but a little card. And it's got like a bunch of games on it. It's one that you can buy off of Amazon or whatever. It has a bunch of games on it. Anyways, and it came with Plants vs. Zombies on it. And I love that game. It's like a tower defense game. I have a soft spot for those games. I think they're really fun. And there's a Plants vs. Zombies 2 on here, I think. And it's a bunch off. Yeah, it's only $2.99. Regular $30. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 Deluxe Edition. I'm thinking of picking that up.
$2.99. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, $2.99. I actually might buy that right now on Steam while we're sitting here talking. Because it's only $2.99 cool and I got money in my Steam wallet.
Can we both play that together or no?
Dude, that'd be sweet if it was. If we could go if like one person could be the zombies and the other could be the plant.
Yeah,
wait, this looks like a shooter. This is a shooter, isn't it?
Plant versus Zombies.
Online PvP
now,
and online
Final
co-op.
Fantasy Tactics? Do you remember Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yes.
It was a tower defense game.
Was it?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, dude. So
never played
yeah,
this,
we
though.
might have to try this. This is online PvP combat. Yeah, I'm gonna look into this and I might pick it up and I'll let y'all know next week if
Guys,
I'm.
$2.99 for
I
the
wanna play
bonus game. Throw it in there. Doesn't help. Even as you can see that there's so many games. We play a lot of
So
games.
many.
There's a lot of games that we still have not even tried over the years. So everybody has busy schedules. But hey, for $2, I mean, you spend that extra on leaving tips these days for all these restaurants. So save your tip and get you the game. Okay.
Yep,
But
that's right. That's right.
okay. Well, that will be our gaming news and deals, the gaming news and deals. The only news I'm going to kind of throw out there real quick is going to be there was a new announcement from this cheeky studio for this Halo Combat Devolved instead of Evolved, and they have it playing on the Game Boy Advance. And I'm not going to get much into it, but it is, man, I mean, it is really awesome. You can actually play the game. Here it is right here. Here's the website. I will leave the website in the description if anybody wants to try it, but you can actually play this game via your website. So I'll just show it real quick. Yeah,
I'm
here
gonna
it
be
is right now
that while
playing.
we're doing the podcast.
Had nothing to do with making of this game. And I wish y'all could hear the music. I hope you can hear this music that's going to be playing. It is amazing. It's not even that, but it's close. It's very close. Let me see.
I'm
Here
gonna
it is.
play it
Here it
on
is.
my side so that people can hear it. Run game. Come on, play. Play game.
There we go.
How do you do the buttons and stuff?
I just
A,
I just click.
B. Yeah. Listen to this.
Is it not awesome?
Yeah. Oh, that's dope.
I need to plug in a controller to play it, but
Yeah.
y'all get the
You
gist
can
of
use
it, guys?
you can use A and B
Mine A and B ain't working.
or Z and K or whatever.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Dude, this slaps. You just press Z and X can be your A and B.
Look at this.
Yeah, that slaps, dude. That slaps.
I mean, look at that. Oh,
I even
just
like
went
the
past
little
screen. But look at
cutscenes
this.
and stuff.
Look at the little cutscenes and all that. Like, look at that.
Yeah, I'm playing it too. Yeah, this is great. I'm gonna have to come in here and try this game out.
So guys, y'all check it out. I'll leave the link down below if you want to try out this game. sofaswordsman.itch.io/Halo-Combat-Devolved. So there it is right there. If you're on our audio listeners, you can play this back to get that link. And it is a super cool game. The only problem is it doesn't go diagonal. You have to go left, right, and all that stuff. They got a little bit of tweaks to make it too.
Yeah, it's like Zelda back in the day.
Yeah, that's a great example, Josh. But the sprite work and all this stuff, they literally had Halo with the sneeze.
Hush.
We had
Hush.
Halo on the Game Boy Advance. Spawnwave actually brought my attention to this, so I have to give the props to him. He actually had it put on a card, a flash card, this ROM, put it into his GameCube, put the GameCube connected to his PlayStation TV. So he had all three systems working together, an Xbox, PlayStation, and GameCube to play this game.
Nice.
So, super cool. But anyways, that would be our gaming news and gaming deals of the week. Hope you enjoy those, guys. But we want to go into our main storyline. I think it's time to go into the Deadpool Wolverine, what everybody's been waiting for. I will say spoilers ahead, okay? Can we say this again?
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. Okay.
Spoilers ahead.
That was our big infamous music to let you know, like, listen, spoilers ahead. Okay. Let's go into this game and talk. Go with it, Josh. Tell me what you're thinking, man. Tell me what you're thinking.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking this movie was great. I really enjoyed it. I loved how aware of the internet Deadpool was and everything people have been saying on the internet. Because you don't think that Disney hears anything because they keep doing the same bullcrap with Marvel. But he even talked on the movie. He's like, Marvel's really gone downhill after Endgame. And I'm like, yeah, so even they know it. Like, there was tons of things like that where he was talking crap to Fox. He was talking crap to Disney, Marvel. Like, it was great. That's one of the first things I want to mention is how they didn't pull any punches with Deadpool and the stuff that he was saying.
No, you see, like the 20th Century Fox in the back. Like,
they
let everything play on this, man. And I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to let you tell yours first. But I agree. I like that, what you just said there. They let them pull as many punches as they wanted.
They did, man. And what was so cool too, dude, is like there was some real legit acting in this movie that like really actually moved me, because I was kind of feeling bad for Deadpool at first because he felt a bit lost. He felt like he didn't have a purpose. And there was a low point for him when they're inside of the car. I think it's like a Hyundai or something, and they were talking crap about the like Hyundai minivan, and Wolverine just unleashes on him. He's like, "You're never gonna be nothing. You're good for nothing." Like, really, like tells him off, and it was powerful acting, angry, powerful acting. Deadpool just looks at him, and he goes, "I'm going to fight you now." And dude, they start fighting.
The most serious moment. It was kind of serious.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And just they start trying to kill each other. And of course, they both cannot die. So they were just killing each other over and over. It was awesome. That was like, so the first fight when he fought Wolverine the first time, Wolverine runs at him on all fours like an animal.
Oh,
that was freaking awesome. And then the next fight inside of the van.
Yes. Like and you just see his muscles, and it's just like,
And then the next fight in the van, like both of those fights were my favorite ones between him and Wolverine, between Deadpool and Wolverine. Those were great. Yeah. So those are kind of like my highlights of the movie. The ending of the movie too, which I thought was so funny when they're both like trying to complete the matter to the dark matter thing, and they're like holding on to each other, and of course the energy going through their bodies like melts off all the clothes of Wolverine, and then you have Deadpool just look over at his abs and go, "Oh," like, look at those abs, those are nice. Yeah. It was so funny. That's another spot that's kind of burned in my memory.
And
then his abs are just there. You have Hugh Jackman's abs there, just bulging, and then you see a Deadpool just kind of looks over, and he looks down at him, and he's like, "Yeah, those are nice." There was a bunch of moments like that, and dude, they broke the fourth wall like crazy.
Oh man, that's the biggest thing with Deadpool, is it not? Like, Deadpool,
he's got some sort of power.
Mm-hmm. Like the best ones to do the third wall, the fourth wall, whatever you want to call it. And I think one of the funny things, talking about his abs and stuff, just to kind of throw into that, Josh. Remember when that guy that's in the office chair, when he's talking to that British guy, and he keeps on like, "Oh, I'm looking at you. I know you're looking at. I know you want this.
I know what you're looking at.
You little sick son of a bitch. You sick."
Yeah.
So and then it's true. It's true, because at the end, like, he was just like waiting for him to land on him, before
they start playing the music and stuff. Like, what about the music in this movie too, man? They played some music like at the very beginning where he's dancing to was it Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Yeah.
The bye bye bye.
Or how about when they
He
get in the
does the
Honda
whole
Odyssey
dance.
and they start
Yeah.
playing some of that that 90s music, that 2000s music or whatever? I mean, it's
Yeah,
some
dude.
great music. I think they're hitting on our age
So-
group really hard.
Oh, for sure. So, like, what's your impression of the movie?
So, the first thing I want to say is I love the fact that Wolverine is in the costume. Believe it or not, I'm one of those that was like, hey, I think it's actually kind of great that he's in it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really, I guess they explained it saying like, you know, they always try to get him to do it because he's a different Logan, you know, and then when they all die, he's like, I'm going to put it on now, you know, but to have him in that suit, have him stand like this, going on all fours and all, that's the Wolverine that we grew up with, even on the animated series, you know, that was just a badass Wolverine, right? So I thought that kind of was really cool how they kind of added all that stuff in. It wasn't held back. It wasn't a different kind of Wolverine. That kind of Wolverine kind of hit our kind of age group. And with Deadpool breaking the fourth wall a lot of times, something that really made me laugh pretty good is when he gets hit and he goes up against the 20th century, you know what I'm talking about? The 20th Century Fox stone. And he's like, oh, and he just like gets hurt pretty bad with the 20th Century Fox that's in there. And I'm like, oh, that's just comical. He hits up against that thing, you know. But he's made so many jokes about 20th Century Fox because they wouldn't let them do what they want to do, you know. And then Disney apparently has been all hands off on this. And you know, Disney's they're usually pretty bad about that, about putting their hands in the pot, right? And honestly, Ryan Reynolds said that it wasn't like that. I think my favorite part of the whole movie, I don't think it was all the Deadpools that showed up. I think it was Johnny. It was Captain Rogers with old Johnny Flash.
Bro, how about that? That was so awesome because even Deadpool's like, oh, it's Captain America. And it ended up being freaking Johnny Storm or whatever his name is, the Human Torch.
But isn't it what we're all thinking? We're like, that's Steve Rogers. And then when Johnny, which is Steve Rogers, curses in the movie, he's like, oh, you know, like, oh my God.
So listen, so like, how in the heck? So he like does the flame on thing. He goes up in the air and he's trying to shoot fire down at everybody. And the dude that can control fire pretty much like sucks it all off of him. Johnny Storm falls down and he lands on something and then he like lands on his head. And I was like, he's dead, right? Because that would have totally killed him. But somehow he jumps up from that. Like, how did he not die from that fall? Did you see that fall that he took?
I don't understand that either.
I thought he died then, and then he was back up, and I was like, wait a second.
He doesn't have regenerated powers or anything.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
So, and I don't really understand who that guy was.
He's off the X-Men movies. He was in the X-Men movies. He used to be a part of the school, actually, and he ended up switching sides and joins with Magneto. He's in like X-Men The Last Stand, maybe. He might be in one before that. But he's in the movie.
It's been so long, man, watching those movies. And I've heard that from people before I watched this movie, that people can't remember all the little tad bits from the X-Men movies, you know, on that kind of stuff. But I thought it was super cool with Elektra.
We should talk about the cameos. Yes, dude, let's talk about the cameos.
Yes. Can I just throw out my favorite one is always my favorite X-Man? Is Gambit. It's Gambit.
Gambit was there. So that's not the original actor that played Gambit, though. Gambit was actually first showed up in Wolverine Origins, but it was a completely different actor, and it's kind of stinks that they didn't bring him back.
Dude, I don't know. He did an awesome job, and Gambit
like I think
favorite. He's my favorite one. I used to play him in the video games and everything. He used to be huge in the games and all that stuff. And I played it so
Channing
well.
Tatum did a good job. He really did. I thought he was great. but the guy who originally played Gambit was an actor named Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch.
Okay.
And I really like him as an actor. One of the most notable movies that he's been in is Battleship. He was one of the main guys in that. And he was in John Carter, where he goes to Mars. Really great actor. But yeah, he was replaced by Channing Tatum, which it could be Gambit from another universe, blah, blah, blah. But I think the costume that they stuck him into was more like the original Gambit from the cartoons and everything. Like,
I know.
and his accent, they even made fun of it. I think it was Deadpool's like, "Who's your dialect coach?" I can't even understand what you're saying, but he actually did a good job with it. Like, that was a cool accent and everything.
He didn't do it too terrible, where it was just kind of like he's just being stupid. He sounds fake. But he did it good enough where it seemed natural that the way he was talking. And if everybody knows, Gambit is Cajun, okay?
And you're a professional Cajun too.
I'm a professional Cajun, so he did great. He did great. And what really flipped me out is, just to let you know, I was, if anybody doesn't know, I was working like extra job as an officer over at AMC, so I was kind of like sneaking in watching this movie, and I remember sitting there, and I wasn't in the seats, and I was sitting there, and I was watching it, and all of a sudden, Blade. Let's talk about Blade walking in. The original Blade, bro. And
the original Blade, Wesley Snipes.
I caught myself saying, "Oh my God," and I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Wesley Snipes was there reprising his role as Blade. And, I think he did a great job. He is 61 years old. He's 61, but he looked great. He performed great. He even made a comment that there's only one Blade, the one and only. And I think they're about to make another Blade movie, aren't they?
I was going to talk to you about that. They're making a Blade game, a new Blade game with Xbox. It was a huge deal. They on Xbox, it's going to be a console
I played the
exclusive.
original game. There was an original game on like PlayStation 2 or something that I played back in the day. No, it was actually pretty good.
So, but as far as movie, like you're talking about, Josh, do you think that was a hint of trying to say like they're not doing another Blade movie, or they're trying to say in a cheeky way like, oh, there's going to be another movie?
I thought I thought they were doing another movie with this specific actor. He was in the Green Book movie, if you've ever seen that. He was the musician in the Green Book. That actor, I thought, was supposed to take over the role of Blade. I forget his name, but I thought they were doing another Blade movie, so I kind of felt like, see, that's what I'm talking about. They didn't pull any punches with this thing.
I think so. I think we do have another. I believe. Let me.
But it sounded like Wesley Snipes was like, "Yeah, there's only one Blade, and that's me." And they even let him say that in the movie, which is awesome.
Crazy.
Like, yeah, they pulled no punches. What about Elektra too? Let me talk about Elektra and some dialogue between her and Deadpool. So Elektra's like, Daredevil died here. So like her and Daredevil, and Ben Affleck played Daredevil. And that's her ex-husband in real life. So they talked how like Daredevil died in this, I forget the name of the world that they were in. What is it called? The where they send them to.
I know. I can't think of it. You threw me for.
Anyways, Daredevil died.
It's the point of no return, pretty much.
The point of no return. Yeah. So Daredevil or Deadpool is like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then Elektra's like, oh, it's fine. She like had no emotion towards it at all because that's her ex-husband who's also Daredevil. It was kind of a cut of like real life. It was so like, so just kind of like slipped in there really quick, but I thought it was so funny because I was like, dude, she's throwing shade at her ex-husband, Ben Affleck. That is great. And it's great that they put stuff like that in the movie. That's what I'm talking about.
She looked great. She did great as a superhero. Dude, do you ever see her as a superhero? I mean, you don't really see that.
No, she played Elektra back in the day.
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and she still looks great and was very believable in the role. I thought she did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think so. Just to kind of throw in, I did end up finding. Let me try to play this a little bit. This is the teaser for. I guess there is a new Blade coming.
I'd rather
Yeah.
rule in hell than serve
What's
in
that
heaven.
actor? I don't
Be
remember
at the
his
bottom
name.
of the food chain
But
up there, but down here.
He was also in Alita:
look at the
Battle
Black
Angel.
Kings.
I think
Sure
he
you're
was
ready
one of
for
the
that,
bad
Mr.
guys
Whitman?
in that.
I'm Dane.
Oh, I know who that is. Oh, and the
Girl,
guy
watch
from
his
Jon
mind
Snow
eyes
is going to be
all
in
over
the.
the city.
I say Jon Snow.
Jon Snow from
Harrington or Kit
Oh,
Harrington.
how the mighty have fallen.
He's going to be a
so-
good actor. That guy. He's going to be good.
Yeah, he is a great actor. Like I said, he was in the movie called The Green Book. Him and Viggo Mortensen. It is set like back in the 60s maybe, and a really great movie. That is like he did a fantastic job in that movie. Very good acting, and I think he'll do great at Blade. And dude, I want to mention too Henry Cavill as a Wolverine variant. Like, how cool was that?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, dude, that was pretty cool.
He
but
was looking
Deadpool-
huge too.
What's the deal with Deadpool? With that, I mean, do you think that he's going to be the next Wolverine? Because Logan's done. I'd say Logan. The guy that plays Logan, which is the Wolverine in this movie.
Mhm.
What's his name? I don't know names too well, but you have
What do you
Ryan
mean?
Reynolds and what's his name? The Wolverine. What's his name?
Dude,
Not
I
Henry
could have
Cavill.
freaking told you if you wouldn't have asked me. Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, duh, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think, but Hugh Jackman, I don't think he's doing any more movies. I think this is it. This is it.
Bro,
You know,
so Deadpool made a joke of like, we're gonna have you doing this until you're 90. Till you're 90. Like, so they kind of left it open ended, like they could come back for some more adventures, but also Wolverine's like, yeah, I don't think you're gonna see me again.
Yeah.
So they kind of like left it open ended. I don't know, man. It's hard to
I
say.
do like how they did that in the movie, though. Because that's what
Yeah.
everybody's thinking. Everybody thinks that. And
Yeah.
do you notice with this movie
Yeah.
that they did not add? In every Marvel movie, what's the main thing that you look forward to at the end of the movie?
Post credit scene.
For what? For the next movie, right? Or some
Yeah.
kind of connection.
This one
And
was
they
just funny. This was so funny.
There's a reason they did that. Is they wanted
Oh,
Deadpool
wow.
to be its own standalone movie, like a great enjoyable
Right.
experience from the beginning to the end, and not just
Yeah.
look at it as a connecting point to some other movie.
It was so
Yeah.
funny watching Johnny Storm, aka Captain America, just go on a tirade about the bad guy, just cussing and vulgar. And I was like, dude, that's Cap, man. Like, oh my gosh, it was weird and awesome at the same
Do
time.
everybody's emotions when they were seeing that and hearing that, even that little curse
Yeah.
word during the movie was like, ooh,
Yeah, I
that's
was
just-
like,
that just doesn't make you feel
Cap
good,
doesn't say that because every time somebody would cuss in the movies, he would say something like "easy" or "watch your mouth" or something like that. He was so clean cut, golden boy, Captain America. But man, yeah,
So
it was funny.
can I throw out the elephant in the room though?
Sure.
All right. So I think the only thing, and it does not bother me. Let me throw that out firsthand. I'm going to throw the elephant in the room and think that they went a little overboard on the gore aspect of it. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have chilled out a little bit on that.
Yeah, there was
a lot
like
of people's not going to like
guts and
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't necessary. I think you had the right people, the right tools, the right story. It was a great movie. Absolutely. I loved it.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it was terrible because of it. I'm just saying I don't think it needed as much as it did.
Right.
A lot of times
So-
it was just like a cut up gore scene, like with the Deadpools when they all came in, they were just fighting. And I felt like it was just on purpose. And I get it. I know Deadpool is that way, right? I get it. But
Yeah.
I just don't think it should have been that much.
What about the gore from the aspect of the beginning fight scene where Deadpool digs up Logan and he uses his bones to kill about 20 dudes. That was hardcore, dude.
It was.
It was
I
crazy.
didn't find a problem with that too much. I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of gore in that though, like heads being caved in, guts being spilled out. Like, but honestly, it was kind of awesome.
The sword
yeah, dude, it got crazy.
Black country out your mouth.
Yeah, and he went through the backside, and he had a dude in the crotch, and then a dude and he was going back and forth just because he had the claws. He had Wolverine's claws attached to his arms, and he's like, "Oh yeah." But that dude, it was so off the wall and so surprising that I couldn't help but just like laugh the whole time. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what we're about to be into," because it starts off at like a 10.
Yeah. I think the most surprising stuff I would say is when what's her name ends up pulling the skin from Steve Rogers, Johnny.
Yes, that was brutal.
And he just sits there and he just fought like that. I was like, holy crap, you know,
brutal. But that's actually a great point. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that compared, I was okay, like perfectly fine thinking it was good. I mean, it's all great, but it wasn't as much gore. It wasn't too bad until it got to the Deadpool scene at the end when all the Deadpools and they was fighting. I felt like that was just, they outdid it too much, you know? But before that, it wasn't too bad. And the most surprised part of the whole movie to me was when Johnny Flash got his skin pulled from him.
Sure. Yeah, she just like took the skin,
just like that,
and then he fell apart. Yeah, it was crazy. So let's talk about that for a minute. What about the like animations and everything? What about all the like visual effects were outstanding? I thought they were amazing, especially the part where the enemy, the bad guy or the bad girl, she puts her fingers through folks' heads and is like reading their brain and stuff. And there's one where she's like, her fingers are going out this dude's nose and through his eye, and his eyes like moving over and stuff. That looked amazing.
They did a great job with that.
Yeah, dude, like really good visual effects.
I will be a devil's advocate on one other thing here.
Okay.
It's the only thing in the whole movie that I thought they could have done better on with the visual effects was when at the Deadpool scene, when they jump out of the back of the bus and they bust out the back and he's standing like this, Wolverine, and he's breathing and he's got his mask on.
You can tell it's not him. It's an actual
You can
CG
definitely tell
character.
it was and it stood that way for like 10 seconds of just and he's just looking around and I'm like,
that was a weird choice. That kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. That to me was the only one though that
he could have
really
stayed. He
stuck
could
out.
have stood there. He could have stood there and just did this, and it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Why did you go with the CGI choice for 10 seconds?
I don't know, because what would have been better is if they would have done a hard cut to them actually standing there. But I think they wanted to have that as one continuous shot, so they didn't ever break away. But it would have been just as easy to put a cut there from a different angle and have them both actually standing there when they land.
Yeah.
And I think you would have stayed in the movie a bit more. So yeah, I do agree with you there. That part didn't look as good. So you did
notice that?
Yeah. That is one part that stuck out to me is, I can tell that's not a real guy there. That's Hugh Jackman computerized, like his whole body standing there. You could tell it was just a little bit too uncanny. Yeah. What about the mask though, dude? He puts on the mask and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about from the very beginning, though. Is that stuff right there is what just sold me completely.
So much fan service that we needed.
So much fan service. Yeah, we needed it at peak time. But
because you got teased with it in the last, so not Logan, but the Wolverine movie before that, where he goes to Japan. You get teased at the very end of that movie. He gets a briefcase with the yellow suit in there, the mask and everything, and you're like, oh man, it'd be so cool if he actually wore that. But it was just a teaser, and you finally get it and you finally get it. So.
Well, if you remember, Deadpool teases you as well, because on his last movie, he goes to the X-Men headquarters and he opens the door and you see Beast and all of them, and they shut the door on him. And that, like, you see Storm, Cyclops, and all them, and Beast, and he's like, "Hey." That's right. And they shut the door on him. So you got teased with Deadpool, you got teased with Wolverine, and it just like came full circle after God, how many years, man? And to watch it all unfold is actually cool. I'm actually excited again with Marvel, with the direction they go into. So I have to ask you, with this movie and all that, are you excited more with what's to come with Marvel, or are you just kind of in the same kind of spot?
I'm kind of in the same spot. I thought this was a great way to wrap up all the other movies which were not necessarily connected to Marvel. You know, you have X-Men, all of those movies, which are kind of standalone. And then you have all these other ones like Daredevil, Elektra. Like, they kind of took everything Blade and they stuck them all into one movie and they put a bow on it. And I think it was a great way to wrap up all those old movies and stuff, put them all together, and now you can like spin all of that off as, okay, that was just a variance. I think it's time to get away from the multiverse thing and to get back to actual storytelling.
I think so.
Because so there was a story in this one, but it was real loose, man. Because Wolverine was so broken because all the X-Men were killed and he was gone at a bar. Like, that's what it kind of like summed up to. And it was a bunch of humans that killed the X-Men? Really? Like, I don't think so. I think them not having Logan there wouldn't have made that much of a difference.
And but then I guess how does he survive when he comes back? How does he still survive?
Well, I think
how is he sending the ball with humans?
Well, I think Logan ends up going on a rampage after that. Like, he just sees red and he kills a bunch of humans and he didn't ever stop for a while. I think that's kind of what he didn't live up to being the hero that everybody thought he was as the X-Men, is what I gathered.
Yeah.
So he felt like not only did he let everybody down by not being there, he let everybody down by not living up to how much they believed in him. Because like the professor and you had Scott and all of them really loved him and saw through his like him being so like angry and hateful and mean, and they saw the real gold inside of him, and they actually wanted him to be a part of the X-Men. And Wolverine even spoke about that, of like, I didn't ever want them to know I actually wanted to be there, and that's why I wouldn't ever wear the suit. Yeah, and that's why he finally did it, of like, now this is how I am able to honor them, by actually having this on. And I thought that was handled well, but just it wasn't as concrete of a story as I would have liked. But you can only do so much. Like, I get it.
There was one thing that was never answered in the show, and I can't remember, but it kind of bothered me about why it was never answered. And I can't remember what it is. I have to go back over it on the next podcast if I can remember it. But there was one thing that was asked by Deadpool, and it just never was answered the entire movie. And I'm kind of curious. It's slipping my mind right now.
So there's another thing they talked about, how there's anchor beings is what kind of holds the universe together. And I was like, well, that's convenient. So I guess in Deadpool's world was the same world that Logan was in. And Logan was his anchor being that held that timeline together. So that's kind of a new thing that they introduced. They might have talked about it in Loki some, about, you know, how each multiverse has its anchor being, and when they're not there anymore, that universe will like not exist anymore, basically. And like, I think that's so convenient for the story they're trying to tell.
I know the question,
but
I know the question.
Not necessarily good storytelling. I want them to get away from the multiverse stuff. But yeah, go ahead. What's your question?
I agree with you real fast. I agree with you. They need to get away from the multiverse stuff and get back to the storytelling, get some deep stories involved. That's how you get the true fans to come back really with Marvel. You know, is this multiverse has kind of went crazy. So just to kind of touch on that, I was listening to you, that's kind of crazy with the multiverse. They need to get away from it. I agree with you on that. The question I have, why was Thor crying holding Deadpool?
Dude. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Why was he crying? They never. Okay, so when they were talking about that, that's what happened if Deadpool worked for the TVA, and that was an eventual outcome of that timeline of what would happen. But he chose to go against the TVA and try to save his own timeline, so that part never happens. So yeah, that's interesting. I think it was maybe just a funny nod of, oh, what the heck is this? And then just never mention again. That's kind of I
want to know, man.
I was just kind of left with no sort of ending on that. That's interesting. I forgot all about that.
I think it's going to be involved in Secret Wars.
You think so?
Yeah, the new Secret Wars. I think that's what's going to be involved in. So all the scenes shown on the TVA screens are from the official MCU of Earth 616. You know, where the fight happened on Endgame. Could it be that we're seeing a flash forward to Avengers Secret Wars? I told you, dude. I knew it.
It's possible.
Will Wade be killed off in some glorious battle in a future superhero team-up, dying dramatically in Thor's muscular arms? Only time will the TVA will tell.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever bring Deadpool into the Avengers. I don't see that happening, but maybe. Maybe so. I think it would break the fourth wall way too much.
He kept talking about it. He kept talking about it over and over and over, though.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's kind of free to mention all this stuff because he's the only one aware that he's in a movie, or he might just be crazy. Like, that's kind of what his character is, but nobody else mentions ever anything about that they're inside of a movie or anything.
Yeah.
He's the only one that can do that. I don't know how that would fit in an Avengers movie.
You know how they do it?
Because those are supposed to be more serious.
You know how they do it? They show a scene like Thor or somebody fighting, and then you see in the background Deadpool like he's talking to like the air. And then when you go to the Deadpool movie, it actually shows that same scene, and it's actually Deadpool talking to us. So Thor is like, I can see that now. Thor being like, that dude's talking. Is he crazy? Like, he's talking to the screen. And then you have the Deadpool side of it. He breaks the third wall and he's talking to us. So,
yeah.
So overall, what do you think about Deadpool, man? Just what do you think it is a must watch, or do you think it's a wait and see? Or do you think it's something you shouldn't even bother with?
I think it's a must see. I think it's a great way if you're especially a lover of all these other movies that they did. Like me and you, especially, dude. We grew up, in the early 2000s, and we were coming up, and you had, X-Men came out in, I forget what year it was, but that came out. Then you had Daredevil and Blade and all these different movies that we grew up watching. Like, it's what Marvel was before there was like the Marvel universe. And I think especially if you're a lover of all those old movies, to kind of like see them get their due diligence in today's age and actually be part of a new story and a new exciting epic of Daredevil. I think this is a must watch, man. It was a fun romp, and it's the best Marvel movie that's been in a long time. Like a really long time. It's the most I've been interested in the story in a long time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think in 2 years, it's been 2 years or longer since Endgame, really. since I've been excited about a Marvel movie. So I'm going to give this a must watch as well. Keep it short and sweet. Go see it. Enjoy the nostalgia of some stuff. Enjoy the cameos, I think, the most, and enjoy the fighting scenes. They did really great with the fighting scenes, and I think y'all have a good time with it. So I definitely think it's a must watch. But
It is a must watch.
we got one bonus thing to kind of go over, and that would be Blaze and Bridges game real quick. If you want to go over that for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So Blaze is your brother-in-law, and him and his brother have came out with a game that I'm jealous I didn't get to play it, but you got to play it on your cruise. So talk about it, I guess, wherever.
He's like, I don't want to talk about it. We'll go into it.
I'm just playing. Yeah. Check it out.
All right, so let's go into.
I like that.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
So this is the game. I'm gonna go ahead and show this a little bit. Colors really pop and everything. It's called .14. Okay.
Yeah, two.
Kind of showed this video just a little bit real quick.
Two scouts. Mm-hmm.
This is the.
I'm gonna try to destabilize
themselves. They have a little bit of changes to do, but so far. Let me see. All right, so this is the game book that they actually have. It's called .14. The reason for that. So here's an introduction for all our audio listeners out there. Our star, Sol, is estimated to contain 99.86% of the mass in our system. This is the story of the other 0.14%. So that's where they get the 0.14 from.
Nice.
Since the Great Collapse, the Earth Federation has lost much of its influence over the Sol system. In the flourishing space colonies of the outer reaches now expire for control, this power vacuum has spun the entire system into chaos, giving the strongest factions a chance at secession. Will the Earth Federation regain its vice grip on the Sol system, or will a different power rise above the rest? So we've played this game. Here's all the pieces and stuff that you have. You have like the resources, the pilots. The pilots are actually the dices that they have that they've been using. The resources are really nice, man. It's like these little gems that they
What are
have,
the
these
different
plastic
resources?
gems. So the different resources, you have credits, fuel, and material. Okay. So depending on where you land and stuff is where you get it. But that's what you use is resources to actually buy stuff. And then you have the pilots that actually fight. So, and then there's these things called hazard dice. A lot of times when you land on something, you have to, when you land on one of these, I don't know if you can see my marker at all on this, but if you land on one of these squares, like you bring your envoy, which is like a little triangle piece, to one of these spots, okay? If you get a card or something and you want to buy, say you want to get the resources or something, right? You have to throw your dice. If you complete a mission, say there's a mission on there, and you want to get that mission, it tells you what you have to have, like so many resources, so many pilots. You take the pilots that it says on those mission cards, and then you throw them in the top left corner. Do you see that little tray in the top left? And you see those orange dice? Do you see that? You throw those dice and the hazard dice together, and depending on the numbers that are thrown, some of those pilots will die. So it's like you're doing like an actual fight, and whatever dices are left is your pilots that you collect. The more pilots you have in the game, more points you have, and then it helps you complete missions. You have to have pilots to complete missions, which makes sense. You know what I'm saying? When you go to a mission on a game or anything else, you have to have people to complete these missions. So it's super cool. Like here's another one. This is like a better view. So these categories that they have, these sections that they have, and I don't know if I'm using it right, but these count as points in total up on the end of the game. You can see the blue right here is a resource. It's fuel. The orange is credits, which is money. And then you got
green.
Material, which is green. Yep.
Okay.
So, and you see the two dice on the left? That's pilots. So the resources allow you. So say I'm the yellow, right? And you look on the screen, and see that little yellow envoy, which is that's on in that yellow square or octagon. Say I want to move that thing to one of these green spots. You have to have fuel to get there. So if you go there, you have to have fuel to get there, which makes sense. Kind of like a game and stuff. It does make sense.
Right.
Me, Blaze, and Bridge played this game a couple times while we was on the like once in Seattle and once on the ship. This is them. They're going to be the co-creators of this, the co-developers. They're trying to put this game out. I think they did a great job with it, man. I can't explain every single thing with the game, but the main point, what I want to get out to people, is you get a point system. You start from 0 and you go all the way to 60. And then you can go a little bit over 60 if your points allow for it. But whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins the game. And the 2 games that we played, we came within 5 or 6 points.
Wow, that's amazing. So it sounds like it's well balanced then.
It's very balanced. The only thing that we changed was the first game. There's these mission cards, 4 to 5 missions per game, okay, that get laid randomly on these octagons, right? Which are very beautiful, by the way, and colored. And the first game, you had to go to a mission, and you had to have the resources for that mission to get that mission. On the second game that we played, we decided, hey, you don't have to complete it right then and there. If you want to go to that mission and collect it, you can hold it next to you, and then once you get the resources, then you can complete the mission, right? So that allowed for like so many more missions to be done and completed. Now, if you don't get them done by the end of the game, which is like 6 or 7 rounds, then it'll count negative against you, right? Because remember, the end of the game is to whoever has the most points. So they changed some stuff as we've been playing it because they're looking at play testing. They're looking at what people are liking and what they're not liking with the game. And honestly, there's not a lot to not like about the game, man. It was super fun, easy to kind of pick up. So I can't really say much about it. What you got any questions with it?
Oh man, there's a bunch of stuff. Goodness gracious. There's a lot there. So you're making your way around the board too, right? Like,
yeah. So if you notice at the top, you see where the 0 is around the board. You have the 3 players. See, you have blue. Okay. We have blue. You have the green, and you have the yellow. So red, you see in the middle, stays neutral because nobody is. It's actually 4 players total. We've only had 3 players, so what you can play 2 to 4 players, okay? And what you do is you try to expand your dominance in the solar system, pretty much, or in the system, and that gives you more points. So I'll give you an example. You see left of those 3 colors next to 0, there's 2 envoys over there. You see one's at 56 and one's at 57, right? That was how close me and Blaze were from each other at the end of the game. If you look at the yellow one that's on 10, he went all the way around to 60 plus 10. And that's where Bridge was. So it wasn't, and he was actually further behind us because of all the point system at the end. So, and I can't go over all the points, but the things I want to make sure I mention on this, and I feel like I'm talking a lot, but the things I want to mention on this is the positives to it. So if you look at this board on the blue section, right, the second one from the left, all right, so it has strategize. It has a little A symbol on there with 2 credits, right? So if you look in the middle of that square, you don't have to pay anything to go to that, okay? So you can put your envoy there as a move and get an A card, okay? And then it tells you on the A card has different people. If you look on the right side, you see you have all the pilots and commanders, but you can draw one of these cards and it will give you a passive. It'll give you a passive. So if you look at my card on the very bottom, If I discard one of those A cards, I get three influence. And influence is what allows you to go around the board. So
Okay.
influence counts, and I can't explain this the best, okay? I'm just I know I'm probably confusing everybody out there. The main thing you need to know is the more influence you have, the more points you have. And the more points you have is how you win, right?
Yeah, because so it sounds like there's some political aspects to this as you take over the universe here, or these different star systems. That's what that part is about. Like
it's exactly that. You complete missions, you gain influence, right? The more influence
so you want
have,
influence.
yes, for every 10 spots you go, you get to add one of those octagons, which expands your influence. You see? And that counts as money, and that counts as influence, and that counts as points, which is what you want at the end of the game, right? And those cards give you different options that allow you to do this, or allow you to do that. So I'm not explaining it the best. We have to maybe have a show or have a video of just Bridge and Blaze coming on there, maybe explaining it, maybe showing
we
us.
definitely need to get them on here. It'd be cool if we could play it over Discord. That'd probably be hard though.
That would be super cool. But have a video of it. But the main thing is keep your eyes out for this game, guys. I played. It's a beautiful game. They have some touch-ups. This is just a beta version of it. So they're going to have some touch-ups they're going to be doing to it. But the way they have it set up, it's super fun. We had people on the boat coming up to us asking us about this game because it just popped so much to them. They looked at it and they was like, man, this looks awesome. You know, so
it does look awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully they get it published and they can get some marketing on it and they can get this game out there. And it'll be super cool. And luckily, dude, they said that they would they will put my name on there as a playtester, so I can have maybe throw a little GG rated next to it, and
that'd
for
be
all
cool.
our fans out there, man. So
that'd be cool, dude. We all need to get together because I want to play it too. I want to play it with y'all.
I know we're gonna have to take a trip to Huntsville or something and play. It up there.
Dude, I'm game. I'm so game for that.
Yeah,
cool.
But all in all, man, it was a super fun time playing that game. Kind of just testing out something that somebody created from scratch, man. And you couldn't beat it. So I told Blaze and Bridge, I said, man, please let me just talk about it a little bit. I was excited about it, and it's probably gonna be talked about more. They're doing a lot of things to it, man. So they can't have a final version, final test version, and maybe we can get our hands on it and do a little stream on it, man, on a new game.
Let's do it. I'm down. Yeah. I'm gonna buy me a copy when it comes out.
Oh, I
need to support them for sure.
They're talking about doing Kickstart is what they're talking about. So, so all the GG rated fans, make sure you keep an eye on that. Point 14. Point 14.
Point 14. Check it out.
With that being said, are you ready to get on out of here, man?
I reckon so. Let's get on out of here. I want to tell everybody first, you need to reach out to us either on Facebook in the comment section or at GGratedChannel@gmail.com. Let us know your favorite gaming moment of the week, and we'll read it on the show. Also, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to drop us a line, reach out to us on all the major platforms available.
Guys, thank you for stopping in. Glad to be back with you, Josh. Had a great time.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back, dude.
Yep. So we'll see y'all in the next episode, which will be episode 45. Peace out.
Bye now, friendo. Oh, right there.